not only is it not Friday, it's not even Thursday or Wednesday. It's
Imagine.
Tuesday, but it feels like
Imagine.
we've been within.
This week.
We've been in this week for the last 3 weeks. Nevertheless, you're watching Smell the Coffee with Dana Master and Anna Raza Quayo on this beautiful Tuesday morning. How are you doing, sweetie?
I'm okay. Yesterday I was so sick, but today I'm at least better. Yeah, so I recently found out that Young African and Famous. What is the title?
Young African, Young Famous and African, or Young African
and Famous.
Whichever one. You know what we're talking about.
Yes. So it's coming back. Season 3 is coming back,
You
but
done
only
manifested this.
on the 17th of January.
You done manifested this. You were you're literally talking about this last week to say
But
now
I
producers
just
will
don't
sit in.
understand why I would watch something that was shot like mid 2023, 2024, early 2025. It would have been old news now. But oh well, I guess maybe they were editing. I don't know.
They were probably editing and they were sitting on it, and then they heard your rant, and then they were like, no, it's fine, okay. Aina has spoken, so we need to do the things.
But at least January is going to start with a bang.
Heck.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch that. I don't know when Adulting is coming back. I'm also looking forward to seeing the new Adulting. Yeah. I think that's what I'll be doing mostly in December. I'll just be binge watching something.
And I think it's needed, hey?
Yeah.
It's like a chance to regroup, reprogram, because people have different ways of R&R. Some people like to read books and relax
Oh,
at
I
home.
can't read a book.
I was at the library, okay, not the library, but I was at a bookstore yesterday, and it was so nice. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's just nice to look at where
like
is the book that you bought.
They're at home. I bought 2 books.
Oh, when will you read them?
Today.
Do you actually like reading, Diana? I've never heard you saying I'm reading anything.
I read on my phone.
Surprised that you went to a bookshop.
No, because there was a book, there was a set of books that I was specifically looking for, and I found them, but I was like, yay, they're by the prices.
Is it this Aikai? What is this one that everyone is reading?
No,
Aikai
no.
or Aikai?
No, this one is a trilogy by Anna Huang. Yeah, so
Oh,
everyone was raving about it on Book Talk. So I was like, no, I really
There's
wanna
one,
read
the
it.
Don't one also.
Really?
The one everyone
I don't
is
read
raving
like
about.
self-help books. I'm more of like a fictional.
Apparently,
really.
those ones are letters to yourself.
Oh.
Like when you're going through trauma.
Oh,
I
nice.
think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because usually I read on my phone.
I know because I went to go buy it for a friend. She asked for it for her birthday.
For her birthday.
That's how I know those two. Apparently they are trending. But surprisingly, I don't know Diana to be a reader.
I really don't. You know what? The thing is, I read very rarely. It's not like I'm a big fan. I'd be lying.
I can't read to save my life.
No,
I'd be
lying.
so bored.
I'd be lying if I said, oh my goodness, I love books, and like, books give me so much excitement. There, yes, certain books and certain things that I read that bring me excitement, but then again, also, sometimes it's about time. Because to read a book, you really need to sit down and like, that's why I mostly read on my phone, because then it's easy access. Unlike carrying a book and then whatnot and whatnot. But then with that one, because I couldn't find the soft copy, so and then I had to like go look for the physical copy. But then they didn't even have the full trilogy. They had like, it's actually not a trilogy, but it's a series. So they only had, I think, the last 2 books. So it doesn't make sense for me to read the last 2 without
books.
reading
You need
the
to
first
start
2.
from. No, I
You're not a reader.
I used to read, like my mom used to force me to read all the time because my mom is a teacher. So she used to bring storybooks from school.
Nice.
I'm just like, girl,
Girl, nah.
no, thank you.
My mom also used to, she's a big reader. My mom loves to read. So there's always like books in my house. But now, so back then there was also a reading culture in my house. But then I think as you grow up, you also start to find
In
your own
way,
things in your
yes.
own way. But now
Like
I'm
social
trying to,
media.
like Netflix, like Showmax. So now I'm trying to get back into that reading culture, like especially the physical books, so that my daughter also gets into the physical
You know what?
culture.
What's a
into the
good
reading
time
culture,
to
sorry.
read? December, because you're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
So you can
just
finish
sit.
a book actually.
Yes.
You know, I like storybooks. I don't mind. I can read a storybook. I
Yeah.
don't want to read 10 Ways to be Rich. You know, I read Poor Rich.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, I read that one, and I was until today I don't know the lesson I learned from there. Like, I can tell you, I read the one by the Zimbabwean author. I think it's Tsitsi Dangbera. I think it's
Sidangarembga.
yeah. So that nervous condition.
Nervous condition.
I read
Oh my
nervous
gosh.
condition, and that one I know I learned a lot because it was a storybook. I can tell you I learned something from Things Fall Apart because it's a storybook. I learn more from storybooks than from these self-help books.
We had to read Nervous Conditions. That was our exam material.
nice.
So it was that and The Tempest by Shakespeare. The Tempest, I was like, I'm gonna go watch the movie because what is this? Thou is. I'm like, nah, Shakespeare, you're doing too much on my brain. So yeah, so now I'm just trying to foster that reading culture into my child as well because it helps with her vocabulary, it helps with her pronunciation, enunciation, all of that.
Yeah.
That's why I really want. So yesterday when we went, she also got like 3 books
Nice.
for her to read. So I'm just like, okay.
She should
girl.
have gotten painting books instead of reading books. But nonetheless, we will be right back shortly after the commercial break, talking about the youth who is taking the world center stage and doing big things.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
It doesn't get any more bizarre than this. I don't think you're ready for what I'm about to tell you. If you thought your ex was obsessed with you, meet Lamar Odom.
Oh no.
Khloe Kardashian's ex-husband, who bought a custom-made sex doll and asked for it to resemble Khloe Kardashian. The former Los Angeles Lakers star paid a visit to the Real Doll sex toy facility in Las Vegas after seeing the dolls advertised in the news about a month ago, and instantly knowing he needed one for himself, his manager Gina Rodriguez told TMZ. For photos and videos obtained by the outlet, Odom beamed while getting handsy with several clothesless life-size dolls in the warehouse, describing one with a big bosom and butt as bad. The 45-year-old retired athlete was also seen in a video picking up dildos from a workstation. Odom ordered his doll to come with voluptuous curves and a face similar to Kardashian, who is 40, because he can do whatever he wants with her sexually, his rep told TMZ. Excuse me. Now, the dolls sell from $8,000 to about $20,000 US. However, the basketball legend reportedly got a discount. Reps for Kardashian and Odom weren't immediately available for comment. Odom and the Good American co-founder tied the knot in September of 2009 and called it quits 4 years later in 2013. The ex's marriage went downhill as Lamar struggled with infidelity and being a self-proclaimed sex addict. The former NBA star got candid about cheating on Khloe ahead of the release of his 2019 memoir Darkness to Light, admitting that he regrets his decisions.
No, he should also regret this. Sis.
No, for real.
Like, what?
Nah, for real. Like,
This is not on.
a real life.
Is he not married now?
They divorced, I think.
No, not to Khloe, to
No,
someone
I
else.
think they divorced.
Oh, so he's not seeing anyone
don't
even.
think he's seeing
Because if
anyone.
I was his girlfriend, I would be pissed.
Because why are you having a sex doll of your ex?
Ex. That's so weird.
It's one thing for you to have a sex doll. It's another one to specifically request that
Your
it look
ex.
like your ex.
If you want your ex, just call her.
Just
She's
call
also
her.
single. Just call her.
But the thing, no, Lamar, my guy.
Nah.
You know, some things, we think them,
But we don't do
say
them.
and we don't do them.
Yes.
We don't say it out loud. Matter of fact, if we do it in secret because we know. I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying at least have the decency to not. Because imagine how Khloe and her kids are going to feel reading
Yeah.
about this. Nah, fam.
It's creepy, man.
It's very creepy. Because he's apparently a sex addict and he was in therapy for it and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot.
It still doesn't, it's not an excuse. Work on yourself.
But also, you've been working on yourself, so why are you still going to get a sex doll of your ex for you to specifically request, that's diabolical.
Yeah,
That's
for it to
diabolical.
resemble your ex, no, that's where that's where you lose me.
Yeah, because it's fine. Go get a sex doll, fine, whatever. But for it to resemble, nah.
It's the fact that his reps are even talking about this like it's some normal thing.
Yeah, like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
he totally, he's so in love with Chloe. No, that's creepy. That
America is
creepy.
so weird.
I call America Sodom and Gomorrah. Because there's a lot that goes on that
There's
side.
a lot that is
Too
going
much.
on, but nonetheless, moving over to our next story. Botswana's recent appointment of a 26-year-old Lesego Chombo as Minister of Youth and Gender has sparked a conversation across the continent, drawing praise from different quarters, particularly for her youth and fresh perspective in leadership. Chombo, an attorney, Miss Botswana 2022 and Miss World Africa 2024, was appointed by newly elected President Duma Gideon Boko last week as part of a newly structured cabinet. As of today, I am blessed with a role that gives me a greater opportunity to serve young people and be part of the movement striving towards a new and better Botswana. I'm grateful to be the incumbent Minister of Youth and Gender Affairs. All I have ever longed for was to make people's lives better in all that I do. Here is active and meaningful change, she said in her Facebook post. The African Union Women, Gender and Youth Directorate was quick to express its approval on X, stating, "We commend Botswana under the leadership of Boko for providing a platform for young people to lead and be at the forefront of policy making. Congratulations to Chombo on your appointment." Her appointment has garnered significant attention due to her relatively young age, particularly when compared to ministers in other African countries. In a time when many nations have ministers of youth much older than the young people they serve, Chombo's appointment marks a significant shift. She reflects a stark contrast to the age of youth ministers in neighboring countries such as South Africa and Namibia.
Hectic. Can you please give us your prayer points? Because what?
You know, this was trending on Twitter so much yesterday. So they put Lesego's picture there, and then they put our youth minister's picture there, and they put the South African youth minister there, and they're like, yeah. Other ministers were found shaking. Look at what other countries are doing. This is what a youth minister is supposed to be looking like.
I hate who we've become as a people.
It was just a mess. The trolls were going insane. But congratulations to Lesego. Yeah, this is what beauty pageant is supposed to do for you.
You can't just be beauty without brains. You must be beauty with brains. Actually, you must be brains with beauty.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her, man. I think it's inspirational because also, and I hate to say this, but for the longest time, women were looked down upon.
Yes.
They couldn't be in positions of power. So for her to be a young woman in such a position is just proof to all the other young girls that are watching that, you know what, you can do it too. Don't be discouraged just because, you know, you think men are in control or men have power or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you have the right capacity, you can be in the right position.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a matter of gender or a matter of sex, and it should just be a matter of your capacity, what you can do.
This is so huge for her. Like a year later after winning Miss Botswana.
Bro,
Yeah.
Bro.
Literally a year later.
a year later, this is what I'm
Because
saying.
she won in 2022. She just had 2023 to relax and,
And
say
then
a few
2024,
prayers.
she's like,
2024,
this is why I'm
she's...
saying, girl, give us your prayer points and your fast. What were you doing? What
Yeah.
prayers were you praying? Because wow, that is
Because
truly inspirational.
clearly
It's beautiful.
There's something you and I need to do.
We
need
need
to
to let's just
self-introspect.
quickly go to Botswana and then just find and sit down with the like Chomi.
We need to sit down with ourselves first.
with ourselves, then we go there, and then we come back and still sit with ourselves, and then
And
we
we-
re-strategize.
Yeah,
It's like,
regroup.
Okay, regroup. Okay, now this is what we're gonna do. But anyway, we are so excited to see what she's gonna do for the youth, especially in Botswana,
Yeah.
and how she's gonna help the country. But nevertheless, that does bring us to the end of our top stories. We'll be right back with our guest segment.
Hi, my name is Tammy Nyango. I'm a digital content creator, a YouTuber, as well as a makeup artist. I'm 24 years of age, a student at the University of Namibia in my 4th year. So a part of what I do is basically create content around my lifestyle, beauty and travel. That includes me traveling to beautiful destinations around Namibia and sharing and showcasing that off to my audience. How would I best describe myself? I think I'm adventurous, I'm fun, I'm creative, and I think I just love the aspect of learning new things, you know, whether it's creating a new makeup look, learning how to edit with a different software, or really just filming and storytelling. So growing up as a little girl, I partially experienced bullying as a young girl. So that sort of like set me back. And I used to be a girl that, you know, was in her corner, was never really out there like that. And I think now that I have the platform to sort of showcase my art and my creativity, this has sort of helped me, discover myself and come out of my shell. And what keeps me really going is my audience, knowing that they're waiting on me, the engagement, and just knowing that I'm able to make a difference in the everyday life of a Namibian. Being able to influence people when I see people going to buy things in the shops based on my trust and my recommendation, that keeps me really going and keeps me motivated. With social media constantly evolving, my art also keeps me motivated. I like to think of my content as relatable and authentic to my audience. I'm also young, so I think that makes me relatable to the everyday Namibian child. I remember being so happy when I was selected as a LRC in grade 12. And then I also won the Makeup Artist Award in 2020 mid-corona. I think that was an exciting achievement for me. After that, I also got a chance to work with some of the biggest tourism brands in Namibia, that being the Namibia Tourism Board and Gondwana Collections. I also then got recognized as the Tourist of the Year by Tourismus Namibia. I also then entered a competition for the Face of Fly Namibia and I successfully won. And as we speak, I'm currently on a billboard. I think that was the biggest of all of them, the biggest highlight of all of them, because this was not only my joy, but also people from my village celebrated this win. My audience celebrated that, and my family as well. What made the collaboration with the Tourism Board very special was that they brought in international media and other international content creators over to Namibia, and I had the privilege of showcasing or showing off our country to them. My partnership with Gondwana was also really huge because they're one of the biggest tourism brands in Namibia, or one of the biggest lodge groups in Namibia. And just them recognizing me and recognizing my work and what I do, I think that for me was very special. Some of the challenges I've experienced whilst doing makeup, some of them have to be transport. Transport is a big challenge. I think just getting from one place to another. And my desire has always been to be able to offer my clients convenience, being able to get to them. But I must say transport has been one of the biggest, because like you get from one destination to another and you still have to wait to be picked up, for example. So yeah, transport is a big one. Another one would be the social media bullying or the social media harassment. Sometimes because people watch you constantly, I think that breeds familiarity, that people sort of start feeling like they know you, and it creates this invasive environment where people feel the need to share even things you don't want to share publicly, or pick up things you don't want to, speak about yet. So for example, if I gain more weight, people feel the need to mention it, or people feel the need to put it out there, even though you are not comfortable speaking about it. Another thing I think would be privacy. Like when you go to a social setting, sometimes you just want to go to a place and really just enjoy and have a good time. But yeah, here and there you'll find someone who'll film you and make it known to the public that you were at this place when you just really wanted to have a good coffee or a drink. The other challenge for me as a creator, I think, would also be because you're learning most of the stuff on the job, you're learning as you go. People feel the need to constantly, criticize, and sometimes the critique comes very harshly, and that may put you down sometimes and feel like you're not doing your best. So yeah, I think that's the one challenge. They're not graceful towards creators or YouTubers. So how I deal with the transport issues is mostly I've come up with a contract that me and my bride then come into agreement that they will provide transport for me or provide a transport fee, and also make sure that they provide for me transport when I arrive at the place. And also the contract helps me to sort of hold them accountable to say, okay, we agreed that you would pick me up this time and you were late with this time. The other thing I also make sure to do when it comes to social media, I'm very big on boundaries. When I go to a place and I don't want to be filmed, I make it known that please give me that privacy, or please give me that, you know. My advice to anyone that wants to get into this space is you need to be patient with yourself, because like I said, everything you're learning on the job, you also need to have a why you're starting. Don't just do it because everybody else is, you know, starting a YouTube channel or claiming they're an influencer. Have a why, know why. Don't do it for the money. Yes, the money will come, but you need to have a bigger reason. You need to have a bigger vision aside from just the money. Another thing I would say would be to have your own voice. Have your own voice. Don't try and do what everybody else is doing. Don't follow trends. It's not substantial. And in order for you to grow an audience on social media, try and be relatable. Try and be authentic. Be yourself. People fall in love with who you are and not what you're trying to be. I see a lot of people make the mistake of, you know, the fake accents, the trying to do what the other creator is doing in hopes that it will grow their brand. But just be true to yourself. Be authentic. People will love and stay for who you are. My advice would also be that you invest in your brand. So whether it's making sure you have a rate card, making sure you have a media kit, invest in your brand so that brands trust you with their brand, and so that you just, you know, have a professional brand outlook. You also need a whole lot of patience, because content creation is not easy. You're going to, you know, refilm certain things. You need the patience. You also need patience in the sense that you don't just start creating and then brands are hopping onto the wagon. It takes a while for people to recognize you. It takes a while for people to recognize your brand. For some, it comes easy. For some, it doesn't. But in that process, have your why, know why you started, and hold on to that. Tammy is a last one. Tammy is a friend. She's a sister. Tammy is a partner. And Tammy is emotional. She's caring. She's nurturing. She's responsible. And as my friends would say, the mother of the group. Someone who's really, really special to me would be my mom. My mom, I look at her as a role model. She's very strong, she's independent, and if I could be half the woman she is, then I would have made it in life. My mom is caring, she's emotional, she's supportive. My mom is very supportive, and I believe she contributes to the majority of who I am today. She cheers me on and celebrates my every move, my every win. She's always in my corner, just cheering me on and telling me that I can do it. My mom is also God-fearing, and I think she's rubbed that off onto me, and that has helped me navigate life and life's challenges. She's also just made it easier for me to, you know, embrace society. I think a lot of people grew up in households where they were told to either become a nurse, a doctor, an engineer. But when I went to my mom that I want to do content creation as a side thing, she was very supportive of it. She was just like, as long as you finish your school. Same with the makeup. She's always been very supportive. She's one of the people now that ask me, do you have stock? Do you need new brushes? That's how supportive she is. I want to be remembered as the girl that didn't give up on her goals. I want to be remembered as the influencer that made it possible. I want to be remembered as the girl that had the ability to influence people to go and buy things in the shop. I want to be remembered as the girl that held on to her dreams and persevered. I also want to be remembered as the girl that was once on the billboard for the Face of Fly Namibia. And I want to be remembered as a kind, humble, and honest person.
All's well. That ends well. Thank you so much for spending your morning with Anna Master and Aina Raisa Kweyo. We'll be back again tomorrow to keep you company as we smell the coffee. See you then.